welcome to Grim Scenarios. I am your host, Milk, alongside my eternal other host, Emma, and our good friend, Randall. Hi, Randall.
Hi, Milk. Hi, Emma.
Randall is here this week to enjoy our company and talk a little bit about something that, of course, Emma and I are excited about, and as you know, are always excited to shill for, which is Magicians, Gamblers, and Drunks, the Las Vegas convention. Randall, why don't you tell us
Wait,
a little bit about it?
I thought I was just here to engage in your wonderful company and great scenarios.
I mean, you're going to do that too, but also, why don't you tell everybody about the convention? I mean, since you're here.
Oh, since I'm here, okay. Well, there is a
Since you're here.
convention, October 11th to 13th in Las Vegas at the Rio. We are very excited about it. We've got lots of fun events and things planned. Actually, we just reached 300 attendees. So we have this is new announcement, but by the time this airs, it might have come out in our newsletter already. We secured some more rooms, so we have upped how many attendees we can have.
More tickets.
More tickets, yeah.
And I think if you still don't have your ticket, I do believe Milk and I have at least one, possibly two tickets to give away that we've been meaning to plan a way to give away. So this is probably a good idea for me to come up with something on the spot.
We haven't discussed it at all yet.
Alright, so here's how you're going to enter the Grim Scenarios giveaway. I'm inventing this on the spot, Milk, so if you object to any of my ideas, tell me to stop talking while I'm going. Our Grim Scenarios email account is grimscenariospodcast@gmail.com. That's grimscenariospodcast. I'm not going to spell this out for you because those are easy words you should remember, at gmail.com. If you would like to enter for a free ticket to Las Vegas,
Hold on.
I believe it's for a badge to the con.
It's a badge to the con.
Badge for the con. You have to pay your own airfare and hotel. Just a badge to the con.
We're not that good. Maybe
we're
next
not
year.
that good. Sorry about that. You should email us at grimscenariospodcast@gmail.com. And Milk, what should they do to enter besides just emailing us?
Oh, thanks, Emma. Of course. What should you do to enter? I would like from you your favorite Clocktower moment that you have experienced in, let's say, 2 sentences or less.
Yes, you have to send us that. You have to prove you've actually engaged with this by hearing what you have to do. But then we'll just randomly select one. We're not picking our favorite.
That's right. We're not picking our favorite. We're just going to randomly select one.
When will we randomly select one?
Let's see. The con's in October. This should come out probably Friday.
That's the 5th of July, which is today, by the way.
Yeah, this is live recording.
Yeah.
So, let's say you can have 3 weeks, so till July 26th, because that should give us time to pick a winner quickly, and then also give you time to do all, like, the travel stuff. 2 months is enough time to figure out travel and work vacations, probably, right? Yeah, that seems fine.
Best time to buy plane tickets. 2 months in advance.
Maybe somebody local will win.
That could be.
Or someone who's driving.
And if you know somebody who might want to win the badge to the con, tell them to watch the podcast. Not because they can win the badge to the con, but because it's a good podcast, and they should watch it.
But also to win the badge to the con.
Yeah, that seems fine. We're gonna do a live Grim Scenarios podcast recording from Las Vegas again. This will be Grim Scenarios live from Las Vegas, number 2.
Yeah, our 3rd live show. We, of course, did one at Las Vegas last year, and we did one in D.C. a few months ago.
And we got some great practice doing things live together at Origins GameCon.
Yeah, if you want to see us eat hot sauce and Milk start to cry like a baby and me not,
You know, I wanted to point out the tally of number of times I drank water in that hot sauce eating contest because it was a dozen or so, and the number of times that Emma
Oh
drank
my
water
god.
was 0. However,
Milk. Any connoisseur of hot sauce knows you don't drink water while you're eating hot sauce. That makes capsaicin worse.
yes,
You
and
know
you
what
did.
you should drink? Milk.
What's that, Randall?
Oh, I don't know. It's not.
Oh, it's literally
Anywhere
milk.
here. I can't figure it out.
It's literally dairy products and like starchy foods are what helps you if you're overloaded from capsaicin. Water is what makes the capsaicin worse.
I mean, it was just salty. I was thirsty. Well, the banter is as good as always, everybody. But something we thought we would deal with since this is going to be magicians, gamblers, and drunks. And Randall, you mentioned there's going to be a specific one of those characters you're focusing on a little more this year, maybe.
Yeah, there's going to be a focus on the magician.
We thought we would have a whole episode talking about the magician and different ways you can play the magician. The magician is a character I'm particularly interested in because it ends up on a lot of my scripts for some reason, but also because I think that the play patterns for it are... I think it feels like it has a specific play pattern, a single specific play pattern, but I actually think that there are some other interesting things you can do with it. And so I think the play patterns for it are less obvious than they are for other characters, much of the time. So why don't we start with Randall's thoughts on the magician? Randall, just in general, before we get into any kind of grim scenario here, what sort of thoughts do you have about the magician?
All right. So I think the first thing is make sure you know and count how many minions are supposed to be in the game. My last experience with a magician, I was the magician in a 1-minion game, and the demon didn't realize it was only a 1-minion game, so approached one of the minions and said, "Hey, I'm the puka, and I poisoned this person." And the other person was like a little bit cagey, and he was like, "Why are you being cagey? You and Randall are the minions." And he said, "Actually, it's just one minion. Randall, I guess, is the magician." And I just thought I was drunk the whole game because nobody had any weirdness about me, and everybody wanted to kill me because I seemed suspicious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a danger.
Now that
of
won't
the
always work, of course, because there's some circumstances where you can't count the right number of minions to make sure it's a magician game. There's 2 released so far. One is, of course, Legion, where the magician just adds a random extra Legion, and if the magician's on your Legion script and you've drawn Legion, you're just sort of... you can't trust anyone on your team ever. 2 is, of course, the new Little Monster Legion Jinx. Means that if you only get 1 demon, be careful. They might just be the magician.
Yeah, that's a fascinating
What-
one.
This is a little monster magician jinx?
Yeah, there's a new Little Monster Magician Jinx where, so I assume the magician's normal ability still works. It's not clear, but also the magician instead picks what minion is holding Little Monster, so they can they point to a minion on the script, and that minion, if that minion's in play, they hold Little Monster. So there are some especially circumstances with like marionettes where, like, to the minion's perspective, let's say the magician picks marionette. The 2 minions that know they're minions just learn 1 demon, 1 other minion. Everything seems normal. They don't know it's Little Monster game because the magician sent it off to the marionette. And you're just, if you go up to your demon and say, "Hey, by the way, what are the bluffs?" They're going to say, "I'm going to get you killed."
Oh.
Yeah, I guess that's particularly awful if they choose marionette, because they get you killed
Yes.
and then go after the neighbors.
Yes.
Effectively, yes. So, when you're thinking about the magician, Randall, we'll start with you. When you see this token, when you sit down at a circle and you go through, bag comes around, or you're sitting in an online game and you get your token, what's the first thing you think about when you're the magician? What's the basic play pattern? What's the basic approach that you think about for magician?
The first thing that I'm going to think about is looking at the demon types. Like Emma said, if it is Legion and there's tons of demons, then someone very likely will probably come up to me. If it's not Legion, if it's any just single demon, then I don't. That doesn't usually happen, although sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And then often when the game starts, I like to just see who's going off, because the minions know each other as minions, as long as there's more than one. And they might pair off, and you might be able to tell something by who immediately goes talking to whom.
Yeah, I think that's
then,
I think that's one of the standard tricks. Like if you're the demon, especially in a game where there may be a magician in play, or if you know there's a magician in play, rather, like you look and see which of the people that you were shown are going to go off to talk to one another.
yeah.
So I guess a big question, and this is probably a good question for Emma, and I have a specific opinion on it, is in a magician game, should you fake being a minion or should you fake being a demon? Right? Because that's the kind of big question you have to sort of start out with. Are you trying to hunt minions or are you trying to hunt the demon?
I'm gonna throw you a curveball, Milk. You shouldn't fake being either.
Really? What an interesting
Yes.
idea that aligns with some similar thoughts I have.
Like, minions and demons aren't trying to seem like minions and demons generally. And if the ones that are tend to be minions who have some sort of protection against execution, which the magician doesn't have and can't bluff. Well, except for Goblin, but that's a little separate. So minions and demons are trying to seem like townsfolk and outsiders. So if you want to seem like a minion or a demon, two minions and demons you don't know, you want to seem like you're a townsfolk or an outsider, because that's what they're going to be naturally looking for. They're not going to be looking for someone who's like, hey, are you evil with me? Because they know their demon isn't... If they're a demon, they know they're not going to... If they're a minion, they know their demon's not going to genuinely risk, hey, are we on the same team? Because that is a good way for the demon to accidentally out to the magician and get themselves killed. And if you're a minion, you're probably more likely to, take a swing and out into the demon or magician if you're a minion. But still, most of the time, when you see these games play out, minions who know they're in a magician game will just try to be looking like townsfolk. They'll do all the things minions do when they want to look like townsfolk and not have bluffs. They'll just start claiming a role, making up information. So generally, as a magician, if you want to do the fool the evil team thing, that's probably your best strategy. It's probably to start claiming some other townsfolk, like you would if you were actually the demon or minion, and see if people socially find you suspicious and come to you later.
Whoops, we lost Randall. He'll be back. Aha! That's gonna happen, don't worry. We'll just cut around it.
Okay, I'm back.
He did not cut around it. Emma,
I have a question for you, Emma,
go ahead.
on that thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I know both of you like to do hard claims. Or maybe twos, but usually hard claims, which I also like to do. But as the magician, it's one of the few times where I like to give a 3. Mm-hmm. And if I end up talking to a supposed minion, then me giving the 3 is like I'm giving them the bluffs. And sometimes I'll be able to figure out, based on who takes those bluffs, if they're actually just taking the bluffs that I gave them because they think I'm their demon, or if they have their own role because they're not a minion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sort of gets into a playgroup meta thing. If you think the demon in a magician game is more likely to do 3s, I think that works for you as a magician, in your group. But if you think that the demon is probably just going to be well, my minions their job is to look suspicious and get executed instead of me anyway. I'm not gonna bother trying to get them safe bluffs. uh, which is sort of how I approach a lot of things with my minions, to sometimes my minions' chagrins. I'll just, like, nominate a minion day one because I don't like their voting. And I'll say that and then get them killed, and they'll be like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't like your voting, and I would have nominated you if I was good, and that's your job." Uh, so like some demons aren't. Well, the point is, some demons aren't going to just not going to care about the lives of their minions and not going to care about trying to sneak bluffs off to their minions. And if, like, that's your group, I don't think you're going, like, minions. If minions think you're doing that, they're going to be like, "Huh." On the other hand, if your demons do sort of care more than I do about the lives of their minions, like if your demons tend to want to try to get their minions bluffs by any means necessary, then you want to maybe look like someone who's trying to smuggle bluffs out.
Yeah, and I think, and I picked this script for today for a reason, but I think a very effective play pattern for the magician to disrupt the evil team's ability to coordinate, which is really what the magician is doing, right? The magician disrupts the evil team's ability to coordinate. Not in the same way as the poppy grower, probably not for the whole game, but disrupting the evil team's ability to coordinate for a day or two does make a big difference, right? And so even if you're only disrupting their ability to coordinate for, the first day, it does make a difference in how quickly evil can set things up. And from my perspective, to do that, I want to look like the demon. I want to keep the minions guessing about which of the two people they saw is probably the demon, rather than trying to get the demon to out to me as a minion. Because the demon's almost never going to do that. The demon needs the minions to out to them. And most of the time when I've had success as a magician, actually finding the evil team, it's been the minions outing to me, not the demon. The demon's going to be super cagey and waiting for a minion. And if I can get a minion to out to me and I can get a minion killed off as a magician, that's pretty good. If I can get the minions to Serenovus mad around me and the demon, pit hag around me and the demon, if I can get the minions to not vote on me, right, or not vote on the demon, if I can cut the demon off from their support units in the minions, that's pretty strong, even if it only lasts for a day or two. Getting into day 3, 4, the evil team probably going to find themselves some way or another, whether it's through bluffs or something, whether it's the minions figuring it out or my voting or whatever happens. But fundamentally, I think that's one of the strengths of the magician. It's not getting the demon to out to you as a minion. That's almost never going to happen. It's catching a minion. And, potentially, if it's a pit hag, getting them to turn you into something even more interesting, for whatever reason that is, you gotta just kind of play the game. The reason I picked this script is because Leviathan is heavily reliant on its minions for support, and so I thought this is probably a good script to talk about. This is Harold Holt's Revenge, of course, and this is probably a good script to talk about just what you can do to kind of cause that disruption between the good team and the evil team, or rather the minions and the demon, through the good team, through the magician's ability. Sorry, brain kind of just left on a little vacation. They're already thinking about Vegas. That's the problem. Already thinking about Vegas. All right, Randall, you are the Serenovus in seat 10. So I'm going to mark you as the Serenovus in seat 10. And you were woken up on night 1 and told, Randall, your fellow minion is in seat 8.
Okay.
And your demon is seat 1 and seat 5.
All right. Got them both marked as Leviathan. Don't kill either of them and we win the game.
Sounds great. So, what are you thinking immediately at this point? Because the next thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to tell you
is in play.
that there's a damsel in play.
Yes.
Okay. So great. There's a damsel.
That's right.
And I know 4 people it's not.
You know 4 people it's not. So that's a pretty good start. You also have to make a guess. Or sorry, you have to make a selection, not a guess. You can make a guess later if you want. You have to make a selection with your ability. And where do you start thinking about how to use your Serenovus ability on the first night in this situation? Just go ahead and put a random. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a random minion in here. I'll just put another Serenovus right there for now, so you don't know what they are.
Well, so there's a couple things. Like I was. Did I see a wrong script? I thought there was a Shugenja on this script.
No,
It looks
this
like
is
there's
the.
not.
There's a new version with the
might be a new
Shugenja.
version.
Milk is using the old version
The old
without
version.
the Shugenja.
Okay. So
Yeah,
if the
replaced
Shugenja
Empath.
replaced Empath, well, certainly if there's an Empath in seat 9, that won't look very good. But it will alert the demon to which 2 players are the minions pretty quickly. So I don't think I want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with things that could potentially get get a demon to out. Like making someone Ceramad as a snake charmer, and then they tell the demon, if there's no lunatic in play, they tell the demon they snake charmed them, and then our demon thinks they're the lunatic. So I don't think I want to do snake charmer or dreamer. I could start making people mad as the mutant to try to figure out if there's a lunatic or politician in case I actually hit a mutant, or I could make them mad as any outsider in case I hit a mutant.
Which is super strong on a Leviathan script.
That's right.
Yeah. I also could make someone mad as the damsel, then they'll seem like a minion, perhaps, to the magician, because they're claiming damsel.
Lots of options. Which one do
There's
you want
no
to go
huntsman on this script. Let's
There
make
is no Hudson.
let's make seat 3 mad as the damsel.
You select seat 3 to be mad as the damsel. All right, that sounds good. Well, it's time to go to sleep, Randall, or it's time to wake up. Anyway, you've been asleep, and who do you want to talk to first? How do you approach this on the first day? Who is your chat?
I probably don't want to run off to either 1 or 5 yet, and I probably want to talk to 8 later in the day.
Okay.
Although I would have liked to tell them what I did so they don't just hear from seat 3, and there's no point in talking to seat 3 today. I don't think. So let's
I know sometimes minions will run off together immediately in a magician game in the hopes that their demon will notice them talking together. You're not one of those types.
No.
That's
I
fine.
don't think it's that. I don't know how important it is in this.
I agree. I agree with you on it. It's not that important or helpful.
I do, because I'm the Serenovus, and if seat 8 is the pit hag, would like to talk to them and find out what they are, but and specifically because I made someone Sarah mad as the damsel. I know in my playgroup there are a couple people who would, as the damsel, claim damsel. And if they, I don't know, maybe seat 8's the Baron and should just out and make a damsel guess. It will let the demon know which one is the minion, but
It will. And there's a lot of reasonable ways to beat the magician by simply having an expendable minion out themselves. And it can really be any minion.
yeah.
Obviously not the marionette, but I mean any of the minions on here, Serenovus, Pit Hag, Baron, and Goblin, they're all expendable to some greater or lesser extent. Well, who do you want to talk to, Randall? Let's have a conversation.
Let's talk to seat 12.
Seat 12. All right, Randall, that sounds good. You go and talk to seat 12. Hey, Randall, what's going on?
Well, not much. What can we do today?
I'm the librarian, and I've seen a mutant.
Oh, well, that is pretty powerful.
I think it's pretty strong. I'm not gonna necessarily, say who I've seen as the mutant. I think that's probably not fair to them. So I'm just gonna kind of sit on that information myself. How about you? What are you?
Yeah, I don't think you should say who you saw as the mutant, and obviously you will take any information they give with a grain of salt. But one of the people you saw might not be the mutant.
Yeah, I mean, obviously one of them is probably something else, because that's how librarian works. But I'm not gonna sit on it for the whole game. I just don't want to like come out with it straight away, because that puts a lot of pressure on the player who
Is the mutant.
is the mutant, especially in a game where they're not gonna be likely to get executed off too quickly.
All right. Well, I will tell you. I'm the Slayer.
You're the Slayer. Okay, great. And okay, cool. So no info really, but maybe try to clear somebody.
Yeah, and could clear someone. Could potentially shoot a demon when we have more information.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
All right.
All right. You can probably have a couple. We usually do like 3 conversations per day. Why don't we go ahead and say who do you want to talk to next?
I would like to talk to seat 6.
All right, Emma, you wanna cover this one? You wanna?
Sure, I
the
can
player
do
in
seat
seat
6.
six?
Let me reopen your chat and see what I'm supposed to be.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for
Uh-huh.
thanks for hanging out.
It's the best way to do the podcast. Sure, yeah, I can be seat 6. Hey, how's it going, Randall?
Good. How are you, Emma?
Oh, not bad. Not bad. I don't think there's much reasons for me not to be honest here. I'm the balloonist. I learned
Ooh.
seat 11 last night.
Well, there is no way for you to get killed at night. So
No way to get killed, no way to get poisoned, and like a pit hag turns someone into a evil courtier to poison me.
to specifically poison the balloonist. Is this old balloonist or new balloonist?
I mean, on the app, it's New Balloonist. I don't know if the author has, like, a problem with it being New Balloonist on the script, since, like...
Let's do New Balloonist.
But I'm assuming it's just New Balloonist, because Old Balloonist doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
At least online. And, like, in person, my Balloonist token says the old thing, so I don't know. I'll probably run Old Balloonist in person to be less confusing, unless I get an updated token at some point. But...
All right.
I'll
So
probably run New Balloonist, 'cause
you
it's better.
saw seat 11.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that I am the seamstress, and I have not used it yet.
Ooh.
Mm.
Well, I'll get another name tomorrow night. There'll be a different character type than Seat 11, and you could then seamstress check those 2 players
That
to see if I've learned 2 evils or a good and an outsider, or a town and an outsider, or...
Well,
I
I
guess
won't
I
be
could
able to
technically
tell
learn
between those 2 things, but
Yeah, but it's unlikely, I think, that I'm going to see Demon Minion with my first 2.
yes, probably.
So probably if we get a no, it means I saw a town minion, and if we got a yes, it means I saw a town outsider in some order.
Yep, I'll believe that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Randall, and let's have one more conversation today, and see what you can find out. Who do you want to talk to?
I do want to talk to seat 8.
Okay. I will be seat 8. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, good.
Yeah. Baron. I'm the Baron.
Baron. Okay.
Mhm.
So I am the Serenovus.
Serenovus, cool.
Yeah. I made seat 3 mad about being the damsel.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so I mean it's all 4. So we got a poly out there as well. So got to be kind of open and aware for that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So keeping your eye. Did you talk to either of the 2 today?
No, did you?
No. But I did talk to seat 9. They're claiming to be the empath with a 1.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't know what's going on there, but maybe a damsel.
Well, could be politician, lunatic, any of the outsiders.
Yeah, might be worth keeping an ear on that. But just so you know, that kind of puts us in a little danger over here. So we just gotta be cautious.
Okay. So, question. On this script, if you have a Baron and a Balloonist, you've just
Well,
nerfed the Baron ability.
Well,
since
with
it's
new
new
balloonists,
it's
they
just
don't
a
even have to add an outsider anymore.
That's
yeah. New
correct. With
balloonist
new
can add
balloonist.
+0 or +1, so I guess that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would share with the person what 12 and
It's
6
me,
said,
see?
although... Huh? Yeah, you.
It's me. See?
So, I heard of a librarian who saw mutants.
I mean, that's definitely real. So you can hunt them with your Serenovus ability, though. So that's all right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Seat 9 could be a good target for that as well, because, if they're just making up info.
Speaking of hunting with your Serenovus target, it's an important lesson in Clocktower that sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. C3 is executed and dies.
Everybody goes to sleep. Amazing snipe, Randall. You immediately made the mutant mad as the damsel. That worked out real well for your team.
I mean, that's pretty good. We got one execution already.
It's a really strong start. You got an execution down. The entire good team's probably panicking right now. And you got a couple of rolls out of people. People are going to be open about their rolls on HHR on any Leviathan script, at least more than usual, and as much as possible. What are you thinking?
So that actually helps a lot, because any of the people that I talked to, or that 8 talked to, so 6, 9, or 12, could have all been the mutant with their information and what they claimed.
But they're not.
But they're clearly not the mutant. I believe seat 12 is the librarian who saw a mutant. And,
yeah, I think that's probably right.
Seat 9 can be any of the other outsiders. Same with seat 6. Knowing that there's a lunatic in play is interesting, though I'm not sure how I can tease that information out from 1 or 5 until we actually find, until or if they ever trust the two of us as the minions.
Yeah, it's interesting how the information is compartmentalized in this just very specific little situation, right? You know that there's a lunatic. You know that the demon knows who the lunatic is.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there's a damsel in play. The demon doesn't know that there's a damsel in play, but the demon knows who the lunatic is. So there's this kind of interesting kind of bits of information that each part of the team has, which unfortunately you currently can't put together. So I wanted to ask you about what you were bluffing as. You're bluffing as Slayer and Seamstress, pretty openly, kind of just bluffing as two different things. What's the thought behind that, or what was going on in what was kind of going on in your head about what you were going to bluff, or thinking about what to bluff?
I want to look somewhat suspicious later. I still want to be a demon candidate, so one of those. I mean, if there's a Baron in play and there's a balloonist and a librarian, then I'm probably going to hit on something that's not in play. If I pick a bunch of rolls and can later try to look not suspicious by saying, I was lying to that person because I thought they were lying to me, or I can go the way of looking very suspicious and get myself executed.
Okay.
Of course, now that the mutant has been executed, if I get myself executed, everyone will know when the game continues that I'm evil.
Yeah.
Evil.
But, that's not the end of the world. Especially if it's on, day 4.
No.
Okay,
if
you got yourself executed, now they have one day at a real demon candidate.
Right, and if I think that's going to happen, I can, decide how I want to play my information. Everyone's going to know I'm evil, so do they second guess that I was trying to protect my demon, or that I was double bluffing?
So who are you going to pick tonight, and as what?
let's make seat 11, who might already be an outsider, mad as the politician.
Mad as the politician. All right. And what's kind of going into your Sarah Nova's choices right now? Are you just trying to kind of cause confusion, or is there a specific type of disruption you're aiming for?
Well, I was trying to mutant hunt, but that is checkmark. That's done. So
yeah,
now,
you did it. You were the best mutant hunter ever.
I don't want to. I'm trying to cause some confusion with outsiders, and I don't necessarily want to stop the flow of information. Like, I don't want to make seat 6 mad if they are the balloonist. I do kind of want to know their next ping, just in case it's on 1 or 5. If it's not on 1, 5, or me, or seat 8, then that will be very helpful as well. They'll be pointing me to an outsider of one of 2 players. And if the second person is the outsider, then seat 11, claiming politician, will look pretty suspicious later.
All right, that works for me. Well, you wake up in the morning to find that, to everyone's surprise, no one has died in the night, but it is day 2 of a Leviathan game. Who's your priority to talk to today?
I would like to talk to seat 4.
Seat 4 it is. All right. Well, that's Emma's favorite number, so I'll be this character. Hey, what's up, Randall?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Just kind of hanging out right now. It's kind of interesting. We're now down in execution on good players, so we really got to watch our info. What do you got going on? I'm happy to hard claim if you are.
Sure, I'll hard claim.
Okay. All right. What do you got?
I am the seamstress.
The seamstress. Okay, cool. I'm the slayer.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm planning on probably shooting. I was planning on shooting on like day 3 to see either I clear somebody or kill the demon. But maybe now I need to think about where it's best for me to use this.
Yeah. I mean, day 3 and 4 both seem reasonable. Like, we're probably going to start executing on day 4 since we already lost a good player.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some really useful information, we really probably do want to try to hold out as long as possible, unless there's like something, pressing. But yeah, I'm with you on that. We probably need to see if we can get an evil, I think.
Yeah. Well, seamstress could help with that. I've heard of balloonist too.
Yep.
I've heard of an empath.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Good
All
chat.
right.
Good chat.
Yep, good chat.
Okay. You come back to the town square to hear seat 9 lamenting something that seems to have frustrated them. Who do you want to talk to?
Let's talk to seat 9.
Oh, hey Randall, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
You sounded frustrated.
Well, yeah, one of my minions just exploded last night. Looks like I'm the lunatic. So that's unfortunate. Yeah. I was shown seat 3, seat 2, and seat 5 as minions. I don't know. None of them claim to be minions, but I mean, I didn't really go and ask them because I thought it was the demon. So not great. But then one of them exploded, so I know it's not a magician game. I know that person is not the magician or the or a minion. So yeah, just the lunatic.
I hope they're not the Serenovus that made themselves mad.
I mean, if they are, I talked to them today and they didn't claim it. So
okay.
What are you? You mind sharing?
Yeah, I'm the seamstress.
Seamstress. Okay, cool. Have you used it yet?
I have not.
All right, sounds good.
What were your bluffs?
My bluffs were Empath, Snake Charmer, and Courtier.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Those could be in play or out of play.
Yeah, there's no real way to know. It's not that useful. So yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. And Randall,
Right.
why don't we give you one more chat here today?
Let's chat with seat 2.
Emma, you want to take over for seat 2 here?
Yeah, I'm happy to take over for seat 2. Sure. Seat 2. What can I help you with, Randall?
Well, Leviathan game. I feel like we should just be open and honest.
Okay, well, what are you?
I'm the seamstress.
I'm also the seamstress.
Perfect.
Yeah, have you used it?
I have not. Have you?
I have. I got a no between you and seat 3.
Me and seat 3. Well, that's awkward because seat 3 was just executed from some kind of madness.
You're the seamstress, right?
I am the seamstress.
Well, I'm also the seamstress.
Okay. I'll take that under advisement.
Okay. Sounds productive.
Yes? Very productive.
All right, great chat, everybody. Well done. You come back to town square and seat 3's like, "Hey, everybody. Sorry, I was Serenovus mad. As an outsider, basically nothing I could do. Great snipe, Serenovus. What do you got? I don't know what everybody wants to do, but we gotta be careful about this now. Obviously, just the mute. So with that in mind, Randall, is there anybody you want to nominate? Do you have any thoughts or strategies about what you want to do here? What's on your mind?
Well, one thing I'm thinking about is the damsel can never be killed at this point. So we're always going to have that as a potential guess. Right? Because the demon, I don't have to tell the demon not to kill them. The demon can't kill. But I would not really nominate at this point in a Leviathan game.
Okay. I think let's go with seat 12 says, I haven't heard of a town crier, but I am just going to go ahead and nominate just in case there is one in the town that's hiding a little bit. So seat 12 is going to nominate I'll nominate seat 8. And I'm going to nominate seat 8 because seat 8 is the other half of my mutant ping. I saw a mutant between seat 3 and seat 8. I don't know what seat 8 is claiming, but maybe I'll just nominate there, and we don't have to kill this. It's just for town crier, but I thought I'd get out my info. Seat 8, of course, says, yeah, I'm the amnesiac. I don't know what my ability does. I'm just guess some stuff so far. I haven't woken up. Nothing's really happened to me. Yep, this is fine. We can do a town crier check, whatever. Are you gonna vote on the town crier check, Randall?
I mean, there's no flower girl, but sure, let's vote.
All right. Well, seat 12 votes on it. We'll say seat 4 votes on it, and we'll say seat 8 votes on themselves just cause. But it's not enough. Any other nominations? Let's say seat 5 says, yeah, I'll nominate for a town crier just in case there's a town crier. I'll nominate. I'm just gonna nominate seat 3 because we're not gonna kill today, so it doesn't matter. Seat 5 nominates seat 3. Seat 3 is dead. Would you like to vote on this?
No.
All right. Yeah. There's like one or two votes here and there. Maybe we'll say seat 7 and seat 2 vote on it, but there's not enough to get anything else. And Ed, did you want to make a nomination?
I think no.
Okay, no nomination for you. In which case, I think the town is going to go to sleep. So let's go to night time and go to sleep.
If there is a town crier, I don't want to nominate because seat 5 nominated.
Ah, that's a good thought. You don't want seat 5 to look like they're a minion.
If seat 5, yeah, whether they're the demon or the magician, I don't want them to look like a minion.
That seems reasonable.
That makes a lot of sense. So, with that in mind, who do you want to make mad as what? Well, I get to do an Artemis graphic now.
She's mad about something.
Let's make seat 11 mad as the seamstress.
Seat 11 mad as the seamstress. Sounds good to me. Alright, we're going to wake you up the following morning, and once again, shockingly, to your surprise, no one has died in the night. This is day 3 of a Leviathan game. And Randall, this is probably the last day of Leviathan game that we're going to run in its entirety. At the end of this day, we're going to ask you to do the thing that we always have to do, which is figure out the Grim and decide who here is your demon, and possibly, if you think you can, decide who here is the damsel.
Well, I should probably talk to seat 1 and 5 at some point during the day today. Then
we'll give you three chats today to try to clear up the Grim.
I mean, I'm gonna talk to seat 1, 5, and 7. So let's do 7 first.
All right, you talk to seat 7. Emma, would you like to play the role of seat 7 here?
Why don't you play the role of seat 7?
I'll play the role of seat 7. Hey, Randall, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Crazy game with the mutant going immediately, huh? It's kind of
that's unlucky
tense
for us.
Yeah. It makes it a tricky game. What do you feel like doing? I guess everybody's being pretty open with their info here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just do hard claims or?
Sure. Yeah, let's do hard claims.
Okay. I'm the snake charmer. I think I'm probably not gonna pick anymore because I checked seat 9, who's apparently the lunatic, and I feel like I got away. I feel like I got away with something. So I've checked seat 9, and I've checked someone else, and I'm not going to say who that is. Or I've checked 2 other people. I mean, and I'm not going to say who they are.
I was going to say you should have 3 checks. Is there a reason you don't want to say who they are?
I feel like, I guess there's not a reason to not say who they are. I feel like maybe like there's like some, I don't know, stuff that could happen with like Serenovus madness or something. I'm kind of nervous about all that, but I don't know. I don't necessarily want to like out all of that, but maybe I guess it's okay to say it.
Yeah, if you get made mad tomorrow by the Serenovus, then you won't be able to say it tomorrow when we're probably going to execute someone. And if we execute one of the people that you've picked, we'll just lose, right?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just say I picked seat 8, and then last night I picked seat 12 because I thought they were probably safe to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because they came out with the mutant ping, and I figured that was probably likely. So.
Yeah, they seem to have good information.
Yeah. What are you?
Well, I have been telling everybody that I am the seamstress.
Yeah.
I'm actually the courtier, and I drunked the goblin, so we don't have anything to fear about goblin claims.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, good. Did you do that last night, or did you do that?
I did it last night. There's no point to doing it before night 3, right?
Yeah, that's a very powerful choice you've made. I think that's a good one.
We'll see if anyone claims goblin.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later. All right, you got 2 more chats. Which one do you want to go to next?
Um, I think I'm gonna change what my plan was. I still want to talk to one of them, so let's talk to seat 1.
All right, Emma, I think this can be your turn. Do seat 1.
Sure. Uh, Seat 1 goes, "Hey, how's it going,
Good.
Randall?"
It's going well. How are you doing in this game?
Not bad. I've mostly shared my info around. I saw a Baron between seat 8 and seat 5. I'm the investigator.
Okay. Well, there are a lot of outsider claims. So,
Yeah, I've heard of a lunatic. There's obviously a dead mutant. And I've seen the Baron, so
yeah.
it's pretty clear to me that we have a Baron game here.
Okay. I will tell you I'm the courtier who drunked the goblin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then, Randall.
All right.
All right. Well, one last chat for you, Randall. Where are we going?
I want to talk to seat 6.
All right. I believe Emma previously played seat 6, so reprising the role of seat 6 is going to be Emma.
Yeah, and this is day 3 now, right? Yes.
Day 3.
Day 3.
Yeah. Hello. So you have 3 names now.
Yeah. My 3 names are seat 11, seat 2, and seat 8.
Okay. 11, 2, and 8. Those are pretty interesting names. I will use the seamstress ability. Probably. What is your social read on those players?
I've heard of investigator ping on seat 8, so I'm sort of inclined to think they're a minion, which makes seat 2 probably good, but they've been a bit weird. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. Seat 11 has also been a bit strange. They've changed their claim literally every day.
Yeah. I've heard of some other people doing that too.
Yeah, I'll just tell you what seat 2 did. Like, I came up to seat 2, we talked, I said I'm the balloonist, and they go, "Oh, I'm the balloonist." And then I told them, like, "I don't think you are," and they said, "Yes, I am. I saw you last night."
Yeah. I had a similar experience with seat 2. Maybe they're the amnesiac, and their ability is you must claim whatever someone else claims to you, and then you will get that ability.
Maybe.
But if seat 8 is the minion in the investigator ping and in your balloonist, then seat 2 can't be a minion. They would have to be the demon acting very strange, or
Or a townsfolk or an outsider.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have. You haven't used it yet?
No, I was waiting to see if we could get more information. Because of the mutant execution, I figured we were not executing until 4.
Okay.
All right. Well, Randall, I think we've reached more or less the nominal end of this journey. The town hasn't heard of a town crier, so they're going to go to sleep tonight. And then tonight you'll have to make a Ceranovus pick, and you can of course seed some seamstress info tomorrow. But the question is, what is that seamstress info going to look like, and who do you think is what? So let's start with the biggest question for you, Randall. Who is the demon?
Yeah, so I did not even talk to seat 5. So I don't know what they had to say to me. Seat 1, in my conversation with them, seemed very much like the demon, with the investigator bluff. The fact that they picked out the 2 other players that if they were the demon, they would have seen me 8 and 5. It's like, it would be a huge coincidence. That they picked Baron, like, I'm not surprised at that, given that they would have seen, if they're the demon, they would have seen the lunatic. If they're the magician, they've heard of a lunatic and a mutant, and I made someone mad as the politician, so they've heard of a lot of outsider claims. But if they got really lucky and just happened to pick 8 and 5 for whatever random reason, then that's unfortunate. But my inclination was that C1 is the demon.
All right, Emma, shall we?
Yeah,
shall
that's
we tell him what's up?
correct.
Yeah.
I think that's a very strong play for a demon with a investigator left on this script in a magician situation. Like, it doesn't matter if your information's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You just go for it. Like,
It probably.
And if they're both
probably
minions, who
does
cares, right?
yeah, if they're both minions, okay. If only one of them's a minion, great. It's a way to signal to your minions while also not giving information that fits in with what the good team's going to be looking for.
Yeah, and combined with the balloonists in seat 6, if they really are the balloonists, combined with that information, that's likely to get seat 8 killed today. On day 4, seat 8's very likely to get killed. We'll turn seat 5 into the magician here, just for reference for everyone else. So, all right, Randall, that's pretty good so far. Now there are some questions to be answered. There are 2 missing outsiders that you know are in play. That knowing where they are could be helpful to your team. Where do you think the politician and the damsel are?
Yeah, so I believe seat 12 is the librarian. I believe seat 6 seems to have good balloonist information. Seat 7, snake charmer information. It's hard to know when they actually made that up and came out with it. If they made that up, like, as people were coming up, like, oh, the lunatic came out, and then they tested him. They had already heard about the investigator ping, so they picked one of those people. They could be lying, but I'm inclined to trust them as the snake charmer. Which leaves me with seat 2, who was definitely acting very strange. Seat 11, who I forced to act strange, and I never talked to, so I have no information about. And the claimed slayer in seat 4. And obviously, there's 2 outsiders.
And they're gonna be hard. Like it's interchangeable. Like figuring out which is which might be quite difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
so let's see if you could just point us out the missing outsiders without picking which is which. You know, if you want.
So Slayer could be real. It's also pretty strong as the politician because you know you're not the Slayer. So if you happen to shoot the demon, you've just cleared the demon. And if you know someone is obviously not the demon and not going to be targeted, you could just shoot them to avoid clearing someone that is suspicious. And seat 11 I have nothing on. So
there's no way to know what seat 11 is.
Right. So I am going to say that seat 2 is one of the outsiders. The fact that they did the double claim to more than just me, but they didn't share any information or push any information.
Well, you're correct about that. Seat 2 is in fact your politician, whose theory was, if they double claimed everyone, maybe someone would try to get them killed.
Reasonable. But then, yeah, I could have guessed 2, 4, or 11, any of them as the damsel.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a couple of things. 11 is the poor, maligned town crier, who I'm not sure they're ever going to get their information out in this game. If you keep sitting on them like that, and probably you're not getting killed, and keep rotating that, the town crier information, which would have been super useful in clearing up some stuff for the townsfolk at least, is probably never coming out. That leaves you with the player in seat 4, who's claiming Slayer, and the player in seat 7, who is the damsel, claiming Snake Charmer, because the Snake Charmer might have gotten killed early on if they were sussed as an evil player. So, yep. Both teams generally want to get a shot at the Snake Charmer, so both teams are likely to vote on them. That makes it a good damsel bluff because it's likely to get killed.
Yep,
but you did a pretty
reasonable.
good job, Randall. I mean, you
thanks.
found the Leviathan. You locked up a town crier. You killed a mutant immediately.
It's better to be lucky. Hey, that's why I live in Vegas, right?
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Exactly. It's always better to be lucky than good.
Always better to be lucky than good. So why don't we hop up to the potion shop again real quick, and we'll just we'll clean this one up. All right, everybody. One scenario, but a scenario for our wonderful guest Randall, who did pretty great with it.
Thank you.
And of course, Vegas Clocktower Con, Magicians, Gamblers, Drunks, sometime in October. Those dates I forgot already, but they're real.
You know
11
who
to
knows
13th.
11 through 13.
11 to 13th.
VegasClocktowerCon.com for more information, and grimscenariospodcast.com to enter a giveaway for a free badge, not airfare and hotel. That's on you.
grimscenariospodcast at gmail.com. It's going to be below here. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Emma and I will be at Magicians, Gamblers, and Drunks doing a live podcast and maybe some other cool stuff. We are looking forward to it immensely. I'm going to be there a day early, probably going to stay a day late, probably going to go see some magicians while I'm there. So it's going to be pretty exciting and fun. Randall, is there anything else you want to say to the nice folks? Feel free. This is your
Since we're talking about magicians, there will be a magician at the con, and there will be a show, which you guys should definitely come to. There's also the night before our meet and greet. You can meet Milk and Emma if you haven't already. They're lovely people, along with a bunch of other wonderful special guests. You can. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a blast. Also, very excitingly, I understand that you have provided us with the best possible accommodations for playing Clocktower. Which are private Clocktower
we're going to
rooms.
have private rooms. We are now up to 25 individual rooms with one circle. There'll be some other rooms that have some more circles if you want to do like showcase games, but yeah, 25 small rooms.
That is super exciting. I've now been to 3 Clocktower Focus conventions, and I can say Ravens Woodstock in England had mostly individual rooms, and that was by far the best experience for playing Clocktower because of the individual rooms. So I'm excited that Vegas is moving to individual rooms for this next year, because that's going to make the playing experience awesome.
Noise pollution from other games adjacent to you is always tricky to deal with as a storyteller and a player, and I think that's going to be a huge, exciting selling point for Magicians, Gamblers, and Drunks.
Yeah.
So everybody, get your tickets. What do you know when you're opening up new tickets? Is this the announcement or?
They are still open.
They're still open.
We just added more.
Just added rooms. Added rooms to the block.
No, we added more tickets because originally we had only 20 rooms, so we had limited to 300. Now we have 5 extra rooms, so there are more tickets.
Awesome.
Get them before they sell out.
Get them before they sell out, everybody, and enter grimscenariospodcast at gmail.com. Send us your favorite 2-sentence explanation of your favorite game you were in. And until next time,
may your scenarios stay grim. Good night. Morning, sometime.
see you in Vegas.